for a walk on the boardwalk. You still have a little bit of time, but the rain is on the way. So Lynette talked about, of course, the rain, all the thunderstorms there in Florida and the Sunshine State. But look what we have in store for you in South Carolina. It's already raining in Charleston. It's raining back towards central parts of South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. The rain is closing in, as well as Wrightsville Beach. We also have some rain, very light around areas like Raleigh, and then back into Charlotte, where we've got a mix of sun and clouds and a few raindrops on the way. But we actually have a system, a low pressure system, that's going to be winding up the eastern seaboard. And as it does, it's going to be strengthening, so wind is going to be a factor here as well. Maybe some beach erosion, maybe some rough surf too. We typically tend to see that when we have these more powerful low pressure systems that move along the eastern seaboard. Beach plans are going to be difficult next couple of days. I know we're not quite to that time here on the eastern seaboard. You still have some very cold water temperatures, but if you do have plans, just keep that in mind. 1 to 2 inches of rain from Charleston to Myrtle Beach, Wilmington, up through the Outer Banks of North Carolina. This is another spot that we could desperately use some rain. Areas like North Carolina, South Carolina, in that expansive drought that's been ongoing for a lot of the South. This is welcome rain, maybe not perhaps for your weekend plans, but in terms of the drought, absolutely welcome in this area. Notice that low pressure, it moves off the eastern seaboard by the time we get to Sunday morning, so very short here, and that's going to pull a lot of the rain chances with it, but the rough surf likely going to continue. Where the rain chances do continue, coastal parts of Maine, and then out towards maybe the Cape there, where we could see rain chances linger all the way through, say, about lunchtime on Sunday. But this is why we need the rain, and you bring some of that rain on top of very parched soil. We'll have to watch very closely. This is by no means going to break us out of the drought. I mean, we'll take what we can get at this point because rain has been very, very difficult to come by in the past couple of months. But this is very light rain passing through. It's not, going to last for a long time either. But what we need is several rounds of rain, Lynette, just like this, coming through, not soaking the ground to the point seeing flash flooding, but beneficial rain, one after the next, to start working on this drought.
Exactly, Molly. We'll definitely take it. Let's go ahead and hit. Yeah, Monday. Molly, it's going to be cold as we work our way through time here.
It's definitely going to be chillier than what it has been, but that's saying something because we actually saw a warm up that was way, way ahead of schedule.
Molly.
Well, and if you're traveling maybe to some beach plans here on the eastern seaboard, water temps are still really cold, just so you know. But at least travel plans today along the 95 corridor, mostly okay. Notice we've got some rain in Boston up through Portland and Burlington. Is that snow on the map there in Pennsylvania? It absolutely is. Yes, beginning of May, we can still see that. Winter is not quite ready to give up yet, but we are definitely on the tail end of our snow chances. Boston seeing the rain through the lunchtime hour, even continuing through the dinner time frame with some cloud cover. Notice the cloud cover extends all the way down the 95 corridor through New York, all the way down to D.C. Could we see some rain today, delaying some flights at the world's busiest airport? Something we're watching out for, and that extends over into Raleigh and Charlotte. All of these areas through Jacksonville, Orlando, and Tampa desperately need the rain, but I know it's always difficult when you're sitting at the airport hour after hour waiting for your flight to take off. And if you have any travel plans as far as driving today, give yourself some extra time. Some of these downpours could be heavy at times, especially through Florida. If you've ever driven through a Florida downpour, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And say the western third of the United States looking pretty good for travel plans today. Well, imagine you've got the sun and you've got the sand, but you also have the rain. It is not the best recipe for a day on the Florida shore. However, it is the perfect excuse to stay in. Watch the Weather Channel, right? It is gloomy, but still a happy Saturday for you indeed in Jacksonville and Horseshoe Beach, because despite the fact that this might be turning some of your outside plans inside, we desperately need the rain here. And this is just the start of what will eventually be a pattern that is more beneficial for us here in Florida. Plus, we're really close to rainy season, too. It is half past the hour as we can recharge, rolls on, and we are off to the races. I'm meteorologist Molly McCollum, joined by meteorologist Lynette Charles. It is Derby Day in Kentucky, but Lynette, the forecast in Florida, well, it isn't exactly coming up roses. Rainy season is not too far away in Florida, and I know we're to that year we almost see those daily thunderstorms. We're not quite there yet. Now, say the eastern seaboard, you have beach plans too. Water temps still quite cold along the eastern seaboard. But we also have rain to contend with today from the outer banks of North Carolina down through, of course, Florida, as Lynette just outlined. Where we have the rain right now, look at this heavy rain here in South Georgia. This is right where we need it, where we have some of the most active and devastating wildfires. Savannah, as well as Hilton Head Island, Charleston. We have the rain that's been closing in on Myrtle Beach. That's moving towards Wrightsville Beach, and we do have some light showers in the outer banks, but you will see heavier rain as we go throughout the day. Raleigh also receiving some much needed rain, as well as Charlotte. A few showers around the Atlanta area, but most of them are just to the south of Atlanta. Where the rain is going to be focused throughout the first part of the weekend is where we have this low pressure going to be strengthening here over the next 24 hours. As it doesn't necessarily mean rain for everybody along the eastern seaboard, but it is likely going to bring some wind and some rough surf. So I mentioned water temps are still pretty cold, but if you do have plans to get in the water, just keep in mind that you need to keep a close eye on some of those surf conditions. 1 to 2 inches of rain there along areas in South Carolina and North Carolina. Notice we do have some rain. Boston and points to the north are going to be the focus of the rain, say along the 95 corridor in the northeast and New England. But here's the timing for you. It's a pretty soggy day in South Carolina and North Carolina, gradually clearing out as we get towards the second half of the day. Notice this low pressure that continues to intensify, but the cloud cover and the wind is going to be what we primarily experience in areas like Washington, D.C. and New York, and clearing out for a majority of us on Sunday. Well, as we start off a brand new month, we have a brand new cold front and a pattern change on the way to bring us more of a spring cool down. It also comes with the chance of rain. Some areas need it, others absolutely do not. We're talking to you in the Midwest. But we will see rain and even some storms move back into areas like Columbus, Ohio. Storm potential, that's going to be on Monday. The rain lingers almost throughout the entire week. Notice the change in the setup. So we did see some rain across the southeast leading up to the weekend. But now a lot of that rain is focused in portions of Florida and the Sunshine State, with the jet stream sitting just to the south of the I-10 corridor. Here's our brand new cold front that's going to be sweeping through. As it does, this is May, and so there is some severe weather potential that is anticipated starting off in the beginning of the week across the Ohio Valley, then moving into areas like the lower Mississippi Valley and the southeast as the week goes on. Widespread beneficial rain for most. Yes, I know we don't need to see any more in the Midwest. It has just been way too much throughout the month of April, and here we are now in May, and it's going to be very similar for many of us. But where the heaviest rain is expected to fall, that's from areas West Virginia back into, say, Memphis. That's according to the European model, but still seeing some fairly good agreement right now with the American model. And that's great at this point because we're still several days out from this happening. That gives us a better idea where we could potentially see some flash flooding. I know that at this point we still have a lot of drought to make up, but we have seen some rain, and so this is falling on what is saturated soil for some of us. Here's the timing starting Monday across the Ohio Valley and the Midwest, sinking to the south Tuesday into Wednesday. And yes, as you look back towards the west, that is still some snow on the map at the higher elevations.